Hey guys, I'm Common Artist Silver, and today we will be doing a review of the best Kong figure ever. Yes, I'm just going to say that at the onset of this review because this figure is incredible. I'm sure if you are a kaiju collector, if you collect any of these HIYA figures or any of the Godzilla figures, you've seen everybody talk about this figure, and I'm here to tell you everything they've said about it is true, and I'm going to show you today why. This figure, guys, finally looks like Kong. We've had so many figures over the years. We've had Playmates, we've had SH Monster Arts, we've had X Pluses and statues and all of that. They kind of look like Kong. There's aspects of them that look like Kong, but this HIYA Toys Godzilla X Kong is finally the best representation that you could possibly have on your shelf of our king. So let's take a look at what he comes with. So this is what Kong looks like outside of the box. Starting off with the hands, he comes with some fist hands. You get some knuckle walking hands. Nice. Look great. You get some gripping hands, of course, for that axe accessory. Very cool. And they've got a little bit of flex to them, so that definitely helps. You get some splayed hands, but they're different. You've got a regular hand, looks cool, but then this is so cool, very scene specific. You've got a frostbitten hand. When he gets that SHMA ice on his hand and he goes, oh, he makes that kind of sound. But yeah, it's got some nice kind of red paint in there, and it's all gnarled up and little like gashes, and yeah, this is a wicked looking hand. And on the inside, you've got his little scars from Kong Skull Island. So I always love when they do that and they acknowledge that Kong has those little helicopter scars, though he probably has so many more scars now. Then you get this beautiful, beautiful axe. This is not only the best Kong figure, but the best representation of his axe. It's clear, so you can kind of see through that right there. You can see that just like in the movies, how it's kind of it looks like a bone, but it's really like a crystal almost, and that goes all the way to the tip. And also when the light is not shining, you know, this looks just kind of gray, but then when the light is on it, whoa, you can see it illuminates like when it's powered up. I gotta say, in photos this looked more saturated, like it looked really red, and when the light hit this it looked really blue. In person it's not super duper blue and not super duper red. It's more of an orange and more of just like a light blue. But that is still such a darn cool effect. And this is the best Kong axe to date. Of course, you've got your Kong figure, which we'll look at more, but let's look at the heads. You get a roaring head, you get a teeth gritting head, and the figure comes with just a regular stoic head. But the highlight of these heads is, of course, the glass eyes. Wow, those are incredible. Like nothing I've ever seen on a figure before, and in person, it's just insane. But besides those eyes, the sculpt is absolutely incredible on these heads. This is exactly what Kong looks like. They gave him a big old beard. Look at that. Our nice big Kratos, almost Greek looking beard on our Kong. Looks incredible. This face right here looks awesome. This is that kind of soft look that Kong gives when he looks at GxK, and he makes that kind of he makes kind of that little moan. And yeah, look at those eyes. Any angle you turn them, they catch the light, and they look perfect from every angle. You know, it's not like painted eyes where one pupil's off, one, you know, is kind of bleeding. These are little glass eyes, or little, I don't know, maybe resin eyes, and they're perfect at every angle, every single time. Let's put on another head. Let's put on that roaring head, that ferocious head. Look at that. Wow. That looks great. Once again, those glass eyes. And on this head, you've got finally a nice silver tooth for Kong's replacement when he gets his little dentistry done. And now taking a closer look, you can see those washes and the dry brushing on the face look incredible. And the dry brushing on the beard and the inside of the mouth, all of it looks really good. All those molars, look at that, the top of the mouth, painted beautifully. And then my favorite head of all of them, it's kind of hard to choose. They're all really darn good. But I think this one is my favorite. This is his angry, teeth gritting face. Look how crazy that looks. He just looks so angry right there. I love the way he's snarling. The teeth look great. The eyes, those brows are knitted like crazy. It looks like on mine, actually the eye on this end is like there's like a little something on it. So it's kind of hard to see the pupil in there. But this head is my absolute favorite. I mean, that's the look when he, hits his shoulder on the building to put it back in its socket in Godzilla vs. Kong. And then he kind of rolls his shoulder and he goes, all right, let's go. That's that look right there. And it's absolutely incredible. Now, accessories aside, just looking at this figure, HIYA, I gotta ask, what happened? How did you go from the first release to this one? It's night and day. Did they get the 3D models? Did they hire new sculptors? Did they get a new factory? Because this figure is just like it's unlike anything I've ever seen before. The proportions look all kinds of great on this figure. Usually Kong is not portrayed to be as bulky as he actually is in the movie, but this figure has that bulk to it. I mean, just those broad shoulders, that barrel chest, all of it looks correct finally, and it's just such a great feeling to have in hand. Taking a closer look at all those scars right there on the chest. Of course, these are the Skull Island scars right here, but then these right here are like the ones Godzilla added. The fur looks incredible. His shoulders, like I said, are real nice and broad. His hands, of course, look great. We looked at those earlier. The legs look great. I feel like the legs are like a little bit like far apart, but he's a monkey. He's kind of squat. That looks good. His back is probably the best sculpted thing on here, which is his scar from when he got hit with Godzilla's atomic breath. Look how gnarly that looks. This scar is humongous. Like, I don't think we talk about that enough. He has his iconic scars on the front, but these are just little cat scratches. This right here, I don't know how he healed from that. That looks gnarly. Look at that. And to think that on the monster arts, this was just a bit of paint and not even in the sculpt, crazy. But that is a crazy scar right there. Look at his back. Look how muscly he is. Look at that butt. He is absolutely monkey cheeked up right there. This figure is incredible. Now, my only issue with this figure, unfortunately, is his ability to stand. And I know this has been a problem everyone else has had, but it is true that in the box, his feet kind of are back a little bit, and just getting him to stand is a nightmare. When I took him out of the box, I was like, no, we got the perfect looking Kong figure, but he can't stand. I was really bummed out. I opened him up first thing in the morning, and then all day at work, I was like, oh, it's the perfect figure, but he can't stand. But thanks to my good boy, Godzilla154, who's always pushing these figures to the limits, he said, oh, you just have to push them up a little bit more. And get those feet to really angle forward. It takes a little bit of pushing, but they will move. And once I did that, boom, he stands. You don't have to really do too many squatting or awkward poses for this guy to stand. He just will naturally stand once you force those feet to go a little bit more up. As far as articulation goes, I'm not going to go super in depth, but I will point out a couple of things. Super great head articulation. You can really look up. Look at that. That's like when he's looking up at the rocks floating in the hollow earth and he's going, I swear he does that, right? Am I crazy? And you can look down a good bit, but I also like that you can look side to side. That's really, really great. Even with this short little neck, he can do all of that. Some other cool things, you've got these kind of floating shoulder pieces, which are kind of like a butterfly, I guess. Am I crazy? The legs, another thing, like I said, I wish they could come in a little bit more. And also this top part of this chest, really, you're not getting much else other than side to side. But he does have some good, like, double jointed elbows. Look at that. And double jointed knees. So overall, good articulation on this guy, and you can get him in all the poses that you would like for your Kong. Standing this figure up, he's pretty big. He's standing at, just about 6.5 inches, and he's squatting a little bit to stand. If you're talking width, this is almost 4.5 inches wide. That's a thick boy, bringing in a HIYA Godzilla Evolved. I feel like Godzilla Evolved HIYA is kind of small, but they look pretty darn cool together. And of course, the comparison that we all have been waiting for. How does he look next to the Godzilla vs. Kong release? And guys, see what I'm talking about? What are they feeding HIYA? How did we go from this to this? If we're taking a look just at heads alone, you've got this head with the eyes looking up, and he looks like Bigfoot a little bit. And then you've got this head with the glass eyes, the beautifully painted teeth. Yeah. Okay, well, what about just calm heads? Let's take a look at those. This head right here is what I thought this one looked like back then. I swore that this head looked like this before. I swore it had that accuracy. But now looking at them, wow, was I wrong. Look at that. And look at the difference in the beards. Kong's all grown up. Looking at the snarling head. Okay. This head looks like he smelled something. He's like, ooh, what's that? That's nasty. And this head looks like, oh, don't even talk to me right now. Once again, the beards, the depth of the sculpt, the painting, absolutely an improvement. And then if you're just looking at the bodies, this body before couldn't put his arms down. I was a little afraid the new one wouldn't be able to either, but this body looks kind of awkward now in comparison to this beautiful figure. So that was a comparison of the figures. Quickly, let's take a look at the axes. Here is the first release of the axe. Very thick. I don't hate the sculpt on the actual spine itself, and the little wrappings look good. It's a good sculpt, and it had that little gimmick where it comes apart. I don't know why it's all orange under there. But for what it was, not a bad axe. But then you bring in this one, and it's night and day. Where this axe is a little oversized, I feel like this axe maybe is a little undersized. But look at that. What a crazy comparison. HIYA, keep it up. Keep it up. If we can go from this to this, imagine what they could do with other revamps. I'm just saying. So there you go, guys. There was a look at the new HIYA Toys Godzilla X Kong figure, the best Kong figure ever. This figure is incredible, and he looks awesome alongside the Evolved figure, which has grown on me, by the way, since my review. I really do like this figure. The crazy part is you can get both of these figures for less than the price of one Monster Arts Godzilla Evolved, and they both look absolutely incredible. Now, this Kong has a Beast Glove variant that just came out, the exact same figure, just with a different arm. Will I get that figure? I don't know. The tariffs, all that, probably make it not worth it to get at the moment. I can live with just having a standard Kong. This is really what I like anyways, but if down the line one comes up for a good price, maybe I'll get it. I do love me some Kong. HIYA, please keep up this kind of quality. These glass eyes, heck, put it in all the figures. Put it in the Godzillas. You guys are doing it better than the Hammond collection, so keep doing it. I love what I see here, and I hope they continue to make awesome figures like this. And if you haven't gotten this figure, go get it. I don't know what the tariff prices are, but if you can avoid those tariff prices and you can get him for that $60 to $70 range, do yourself a favor and get this amazing Kong figure. It is truly the best. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.